Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, entitled Mom and Teen Make a Scene Over a Flat Tire. Police Intervene. The second story, I yelled at my boss and I walked out. The third story, Resignation Letter, an honest account of my time here. The first story, Where's my tire? So this happened over yesterday and today. As usual, EM, entitled Mom, ET, entitled Teenager, Man, Manager, Bar, Barista, and me. The cafe that I work at has a small parking lot in back. Actually, parking lot is generous. We've got 4 stalls, 2 for employees. We rotate parking privileges through the employee list, and 2 for patrons. Most of our traffic is off the street on foot, but the 2 patron parking spots are usually always occupied. So yesterday we were processing our food order, taking inventory on what we received. The back double doors in our place were wide open, and there was 3 of us plus the delivery driver working on the pallet. A pretty nice luxury car, I think an Audi or whatever, pulls into one of the empty employee spots. Then I assume saw the employees only sign, and then moved into a patron spot. Out hops EM and ET, with ET having been driving. Instantly they go for the open double doors. Blocked when one of my coworker baristas stops them. Bar, sorry, you'll have to use the front door. Employees only in food prep areas. EM, what, why? I can see straight into the seating area from here. Bar, it's food safety regulations. Sorry, but we have to follow it. The roll of EM's and ET's eyes told us everything we needed to know, and we all braced for what was coming next. Thankfully it didn't come though. They ordered their drinks and a couple sandwiches, and the worst we got was a complaint-ish, more like a slightly prickly suggestion honestly, from ET that we didn't offer enough dairy alternative milks. An hour or so passes and I'm in the back again, this time supervising the delivery of some new equipment. EM and ET come back, go to get into the car when ET's eyes go wide. ET, the tire's flat. EM, what? ET, the front tire's flat. EM walks around and goes pale. Oh my god. EM now looks like she's about to have a heart attack or a stroke or something. ET's stress is visibly through the roof. Manager, who's out there with me, sees this and steps in. Man, hey, if your tire's flat and you need some help, I can help out. Me, against my better judgment. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. EM whirls around and glares. Why didn't you say something sooner? ET goes from nervous breakdown to overjoyed. Mom, just let them help out. They turn to us. Can you get started now? Me and manager give each other sidelong glances and decide to help them out. About 10 minutes later, we've got the flat tire off and the spare on. Man, right, so don't go over. She looks at the tire. 50 kilometers per hour with this thing and you should be fine. ET, 50? But that's so slow. Me, it's a spare tire. It's really not meant to be used that roughly. Just take the flat to a shop and get it patched or replaced. EM, could you guys keep it here overnight? Man looking confused. Huh? EM, I don't want to take it home tonight. Man laughs a little. Worried about getting the inside of your car dirty? We've got some plastic wrap we could give you. ET, no, we just don't want to take it home tonight. Man stops laughing. Okay, no, we can't keep it here. ET, why not? Man, we've got no space left to store it. We've just got our major delivery for the week. EM, so make it fit. Man, and plus we don't allow customers to store their personal property on the premise. ET, that's BS. Man now visibly annoyed. We're done here. Sage your profession, get the new machine inside. EM wheels the tire towards us and opens the door. You guys are now responsible for this. Me, no we're not. Man, Sage, make sure you lock the door. EM, if it's stolen it's your fault. Me, no it's not. We close and lock the back door, and I linger there for a bit. Sure enough, there's the thud of a tire being laid down, and looking through the peephole I watch EM and ET get in their car and speed off in an unsafe manner. We close uneventfully with clear instructions, and a text to all employees from managers stating not to touch the tire at all, to just leave it as it's not our responsibility. We all go home, but while we're gone, the security system is recording. We've got a homeless population in our area, and on a regular night we record a few walking through the alleyway, sometimes scavenging for food, other times stopping to talk. Tonight, we had a newcomer, which we have dubbed Tire Man along with a friend who stopped by at about 2 a.m. Luckily, we had audio on our cameras. Tire Man spotting the abandoned flat tire. Is that? Tire Friend. Is that what? Tire man scrambles up and scoops up the tire. I need this. Tire friend, unintelligible. Tire man, I need this. I need this for me. I need it. I need it. I need unintelligible. Tire man and friend leaves with EM and ET's tire. Today, this morning, we get EM and ET back. Manager spotted them while they were arriving, and she promptly locked the back door as soon as she saw the car. Man, nobody unlocked the back door. Nobody open it no matter what. One of our regulars, a police officer, is in the cafe. He stands up and gives us a look. Police, is there something wrong? Man, might be, I don't know. Manager waves him over and explains everything. Shortly after they arrive, EM and ET are banging on the back door and screaming at the top of their lungs. Within minutes, they're storming in the front door. ET, where's my tire? EM, your tire? It's my car. ET, where's my tire? Police, calm down, ma'am. EM and ET at this point whirled around to the police officer. What followed was an incoherent, screaming barrage of accusations and curses that I could barely follow. I think the general gist was they wanted the entire staff arrested until they could find the tire. The officer took about 5 seconds of this before they had enough. Police, hey, calm down or I'm going to arrest you for disturbing the peace. Don't quote me on what they said exactly. I was half paying attention, half trying to take an order up front. EM, I left them responsible for my flat tire. They should have it. Police, enough. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take your details. Everyone's, including the employees, and we're going to start investigating what happened, all right? EM and ET sputtered a bit more before the officers silenced them again. Details were taken and accounts were noted down, including mine. EM and ET left, threatening to sue us. Manager countered with, if you want to contact us, please do so through my lawyers. You're no longer welcome. Please don't return. After having my information taken and giving a statement, I left because my shift was over. I got a text about an hour ago from my manager. Apparently, the officer saw the surveillance footage and clearly stated that he was going to recommend that no further investigation be done. He took a copy of the footage for police records and left. As for the rest of us, we're bracing just in case they show up tomorrow. A small update. As of February 15th, they have not come back yet. It's amazing how some people can turn a simple situation into a real spectacle. First, EM and ET failed to follow a simple rule, use the front door, and then pretended it was the end of the world. Bravo, guys, for entering. When they got a flat tire, I couldn't help but laugh at their stress. The manager offered his help, but apparently it wasn't enough, as they expected the staff to babysit their tire all night. Let me warn you right away, a cafe is not a kindergarten for tires. And then there's the tire man, the mysterious hero of our story, who flew in the middle of the night to rescue the abandoned tire. Who would have thought that a flat tire would find a new home so quickly? But the real star of the show is the solemn appearance of EM and ET at the cafe the next day, demanding that they get their precious tire back. They put on quite a show, demanding an arrest and causing a ruckus. Kudos to the policeman for trying to keep his cool in the face of such tire-related chaos. In the end, it was clear that EM and ET's tire problems were more exciting than a Hollywood blockbuster. Let's hope they never come back here again. The second story is unprofessional, abusive boss thinking he had the right to keep tabs on my job hunt. I used to work for a retirement home up until March 2021, and I'm happy I found this subreddit to tell this story to. Anyway, I worked as the weekend receptionist for a year and a half to get myself through university. I made it clear that I planned to seek other opportunities once I graduated at the end of 2020, since elder care isn't my main field of study. I finally got hired at a different company in the middle of February. When my boss at the previous job received an employment verification form from my new company, he proceeded to text me. We received a fax containing an employment verification form. May I know what this is about? You're full of surprises. I was very clueless because I never got a call from the new company telling me I got hired, so I asked what he meant. He proceeds to show me a picture of the form from the company I got hired at, followed by this message. You mean you don't know anything about the employment verification request for you? Are you kidding me? I didn't even bother to answer. Instead, I drove straight to the facility, demanded to speak to him in his office. I enter his office. It was him and his boss there, and he's clueless, acting like the last hour of his text messages didn't happen, even asking me, "Hi, how may I help you?" in his fake diplomatic tone. I was livid and asking him what his problem was, and his response, all I asked was if you knew anything about that form. Which enraged me even more because if it was just that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I charged at his desk and called him out for his attitude. I can tell he knew he was in the wrong, and like everybody who knows they're wrong, he started to stutter and stammer. His justification was, well, you never told me you were looking for a new job. I started yelling at him, to which he and his boss told me to calm down, because the entire lobby of people can hear. I didn't care. If anything, I propped the door open and yelled at both of them even louder. yelled at my boss for being an unprofessional, incompetent A, and yelled at his boss for condoning his behavior. At this point, I decided that it wasn't worth expending, so I demanded an apology. Instead of my boss apologizing, his boss apologized. His boss justified that with, "I'm his superior, so my apology should suffice." This was the point where I wish I had quit on the spot and not given the 2 weeks, but I just told both of them "F all of you" and walked out because I called off for 2 weeks anyway. Now I'm in a job that not only pays me more, but treats me with respect. Apparently my outrage toward the boss spurred 5 of the employees to put in their resignation too, so I'm happy. Well friends, let's break down this incredible story. So our author, who worked in a nursing home, decided to find another job. Her boss decided it was a world crisis and started watching her every move. It seems the employment verification fax drove him to the brink of insanity. So she comes to see him, and it's as if he doesn't remember anything, acting like the friendliest person in the world. But it turns out that all those years of working in a nursing home only exacerbated his ability to communicate adequately. The supervisor in the end couldn't even apologize properly, had to have his supervisor's boss do it for him. What a screw up. But to be fair, this scandal prompted 5 other employees to be fired, so maybe the boss should still work on his personnel and management skills. The third story is, so I drafted my letter of resignation while angry. Couldn't talk to my work friends about it, so I came here. I'm still fuming from a terrible day, and I decided it was time to draft my resignation letter. I just need to secure another job and it's getting sent straight in. Here goes. To whom it may concern. People I work for claim themselves to be exactly that, a family group. But unless your last name is blank, you're treated as a second-class citizen, paid as little as lawfully possible, and told that you should be grateful to be employed at all. You're promised career progression, a decent wage and a friendly work environment, but unfortunately these all turned out to be lies. Specifically going out of their way to employ their mechanics from overseas on visas, so that they can pay them less. Not only have they gone out of their way to deny perfectly qualified and capable, country I live in's people a job, but even if you did apply, your resume would just be thrown in the trash. I have a photo of a resume thrown in the bin before it was even read. Utter disregard. On top of all that, the people I work for, I've actively tried to cover up and conceal the chemical runoff from their dealerships into our waterways and rivers. Being caught out by the EPA once already, they did nothing to change or amend their practices and procedures, and the runoff continues to this day. To sum up, the company I work for are liars, spiteful, vindictive, and care more about lining their pockets than providing a livable wage for their employees, or protecting the environment around them. I can no longer in good conscience continue my employment with your company. As such, I'll be resigning effective immediately. My sincerest wishes, Mr. OP. Update. I've resigned. It went about as well as I would have expected. An absolute SH show. I was escorted off the premises and had termination paperwork in my hands the next day. After 11 months, I was terminated for sleeping while at work with 0 prior warnings, or any run-ins with management other than the boss. Let's call him TB for turd burglar. Now, TB had hated me from the get-go almost. I ruffled his feathers in the first few weeks in, and my manager defended me. 11 months pass and TB has the occasional little jab at me for something completely stupid. Small man syndrome playing games. Eventually he won out as all TBs do, and I can't be bothered defending my position because they paid me F all anyway. The best news? They're getting inspected by our Environmental Protection Agency. The last time they were inspected, they were fined $140,000. Here's for hoping the EPA find what I sent them looking for. Sometimes the world doesn't go the way you want it to, but you can always tell them to go and F themselves and get some petty revenge on the way out. Update 2. The fine was even higher than the last time, more than $300,000. I hope they learn their lesson. Firstly, your resignation letter is a masterpiece of sarcasm and righteous indignation. Bravo! I would send it to all my colleagues if I were you. And those tricks with the chemical effluents? It's so nice to see a company so committed to polluting our precious waterway, wishing they could use that water to make coffee for the rest of their lives. I hope the EPA fines are just the beginning, and that they'll be bankrupted and shut down for good. TB really is an a-hole. Let him go to hell. After all, this is a story of triumph. Let's hope they learn their lesson. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day.